Hello, good morning everyone. Welcome to another edition of Come Out Things. Here doing it from in Queen's Park today because there are a number of things they want to speak about and I needed the serenity of the area to do it. There are people holding some events but I'm not going to let that interfere with what I have to tell you. Now if you remember sometime last week there was a email that was made public supposedly coming from the chief medical officer to the commissioner of police relevant to a gentleman who had been released from prison and who was supposedly to be admitted to the hospital under some form of quarantine, and it was alleged that he had tuberculosis TB, as we shortly call it. No, the gentleman would have left the hospital unknowingly, it appears, to the medical personnel, and it is alleged by this email that Mr. Kenneth George, the chief medical officer, had emailed and asked that the police assist them in getting the gentleman and returning him to the hospital and putting him under quarantine. But he went on to say that the public had nothing to worry about because the form of TB the gentleman had was non-infectious. No, I know a World Cup is coming, and I know that this government and these people will try their best not to do anything to sully the reputation of Barbados relative to World Cup. And I'm going to tell you something, right? I'm going to let you know that there are only two forms of tuberculosis which are non-infectious, which is spinal and kidney. And if you listen to the radio broadcast, you would have heard that they said this gentleman had pulmonary TB, pulmonary, which is an infectious kind of tuberculosis. Anything to do with the lungs from tuberculosis is infectious. A cough in the ear, you understand, will cause it to be contagious. So I don't understand if this Mr. Kenneth George is a medical professional, how he could say that pulmonary TB is non-infectious. I don't understand it at all. So I want you all to realize that sometimes what you hear on the media is not always true. Sometimes what you read in the newspapers is not always true. There are a lot of things that are not always true. Another thing I want to speak about is some movements in a certain government department. Now, some movements were made in a certain government department from a legal perspective that it is alleged, and no, I'm saying alleged, that because this person didn't do certain things which they knew they should not do, that they removed. And I'm speaking in terms of dealing with things like estates and those kind of things. It has been alleged that this person was moved. Now, I know for a fact that if something is not broke, you don't fix it. And this person that has been in this department has run this department so well over the past number of years they've been working in that department. So it baffles me when I hear them now moving this person. And a lot of people are talking. So word has gotten back and people call me and tell me things, secretively. All right? And they're telling me, and people will know who I'm talking about and what I'm talking about. Because this person has been very, very helpful in that department. And a lot of people are not pleased. I want to also go on to speak about the peace program. Now, I want to ask some questions. Right now in Barbados, and I want you to comment, please. Are there any gang-related events or things happening in Barbados? I want to ask you that. Are we seeing where people from certain areas can't attend certain events because gangs are shooting out? Like what was happening a couple of years back. Are we seeing that? If your answer is no, it means something is working, doesn't it? So when we get and we hear certain things, and I want to stress this, when we hear things on the media, sometimes, or when we see things, we cannot always believe what we hear or what we see, because people dispense information to misinform people. I know that ministers don't handle money. I know that ministers don't have the money. What happens though, ministers can help with contracts, you understand? And stipulate, well, certain persons you have a contract, and then they will get a kickback. You understand? But ministers don't have the money. And I know that within this peace program, I know for a fact that the minister himself does not have the money. And he still has somebody over him, which is the Attorney General. You understand? Mr. Lane has somebody over him. And anything that they want money, it has to go through about 3 processes. Yeah, and they have to be signed by the permanent secretary. So when we're hearing talk about people giving out money and sharing money and stuff like that, I know that that is not exactly true. Money will come, but it has to come through the permanent secretary of the ministry. It has to come through. And these things are vetted very seriously, because I'm telling you the truth. There are things that these people would like to do that they can't do. You see the cricket program that's ongoing right now, where you get, because I went to St. Lucie the other day, and I saw men from the Pine, men from Deacons, men from all about up there lining with men from St. Lucie. That could happen one time. That could not happen. I went and I showed everybody. I went and introduced my wife. I showed all of them one time. Come. To let people see the togetherness that was going on. You understand? To let people see the togetherness that was going on. And I know that there is no gang-related activity in Barbados right now. You know how I'm able to know this? There was an incident where a guy was shot in Silver Hill. And the Attorney General said, when the people asked if they could have a police outpost, the Attorney General said there's no need for a police outpost because there has been an event for the past couple of years. Now we know how Silver Hill used to be. When he can say that, he's condoning, he's showing that the program is working. He's actually showing that that program is working. Another thing I want to speak about, relative to this same thing, the fact that people are talking about giving people who have been through the system, through the prison system and stuff, helping them or giving them dividends or stipends or monies or whatever, or working with them. I want you all to be very, very thoughtful with this. Who are the people that keep going to prison? The same people that keep going to prison are the ex-cons, because when they come out into society, they cannot get work. They cannot get a police certificate of character. They are stigmatized, and people expect them to do the same thing. You understand? Are these the people that you're supposed to be working with? And if they have somebody they trust, whether it's a prison officer or somebody, you don't think that that's the person they should work with? I mean, the prison officers know them well. They live around them. They know them well. Tell me what you think about this. If I'm wrong in my assertions, let me know. I don't mind. I like criticism. I love criticism. I love it bad, okay? No. As they keep saying all the time, I'm neither B nor D. I don't belong to any parties. But what's happening here in Barbados, I don't want you all to be blinded. I don't want you all to be diverted by what's happening. You understand? I like to be quite frank with you all know right now. I would like each and every Barbadian, or from the constituencies, to look among themselves within their constituencies, within their villages, within their areas, and pick somebody who is looked up to with respect in the village or the constituency, who is looked up to because for advice, who has a bit of knowledge, who has, a modicum of education. And please suggest that person to run for you. Pick somebody from among yourself. Why you all believe that doctors and lawyers have to be the people who are politicians? We've just seen for a fact that a number of doctors have been wrong about certain things that they've said. We see that, because I can ball them out bad, because I know that Adrian Lord and Dr. Ferdinand and Dr. Cave, all that was wrong about these vaccines. And we see that they were wrong. So education and common sense. You understand what I'm saying? They keep telling you all, you don't have to be a chef to know if food tastes good. You understand me? And this is foolishness that's been happening all the time, where Bajans believe they must follow an authority figure. They believe that a person with a couple of letters behind their name is right, and they've been proven to be wrong all the time. All it takes is common sense. A country is like a business. It takes common sense. If you don't know about something, you get a consultant. It is time that we Barbadians pick people from among ourselves to represent us, who can empathize with how we feel, who can understand what we've been through, and understand the cost of living, understand that Barbados needs an infrastructure and industry and stuff so people can get work, understand that we need to be able to export so we can bring in income, understand that we need to stretch on agriculture and the growing of food, understand these things. I understand it. You understand? So anybody else could understand it. The things we need instead of borrowing and borrowing and borrowing all the time. These are the things we need to look at. Pick your own people and form a coalition. Get a third party. Barbados seriously needs a third party here. Because these people doing bare foolishness. I watch the DLP what they're doing. I watch the BLP what they're doing. And listen, it's time for a change though. It's time. You trying to tell me that we 287,000 of us can't put our heads together and come up with something that is suitable for us and effective? We can let the same people do the same thing to me all the time? Trick me once, shame on me, trick me twice. What going on, man? You can let somebody trick you all the time? Do not let these people trick you continuously all the time. You can see what's going on. They can't even run their own party. You understand? Good God, Holy Spirit, to run a country. It's time, people. It is time, all right? All right, have a good day. And remember, please, always, and I will keep saying this, do something good for someone today. Love your neighbor as you love yourself, all right? That's enough. Things not going to come out.